Set 7 firearms on a table and ask 10 people which one they grab in a survival situation, and most of them will pick the wrong one. Not because they're inexperienced, not because they're careless, but because survival firearms are often judged on nostalgia, cool factor, or internet popularity instead of practical reality. When you strip everything else away, 3 questions matter. Can it put food on the table? Can it protect you and the people around you? And can you still keep it running when stores, supply chains, and convenience disappear? Those are the standards we're using today. 7 firearms ranked by how well they answer those questions. And I can already tell you, the number 1 choice is going to upset some people. Let's get into it. Starting at number 7 is the Henry U.S. Survival AR-7. I know plenty of survival enthusiasts rank this rifle much higher, and I understand why. The design is genuinely clever. This lightweight semi-automatic .22 long rifle completely disassembles and stores inside its own hollow stock, packed away. The entire package measures roughly 16.5 inches and weighs about 3.5 pounds. You can toss it into a backpack, slide it under a vehicle seat, or stash it in a canoe without sacrificing much space. One of its most famous features is that it floats, whether assembled or stored. That concept traces back to Eugene Stoner's original AR-5 survival rifles designed for Air Force pilots. The problem is that portability isn't everything. The stock must be large enough to hold all the rifle's components, making it feel bulky in the hands. The lightweight barrel heats up quickly during extended shooting, and the simple sights are best suited for short-range work. Most importantly, it's still chambered in .22 long rifle. It excels at harvesting squirrels, rabbits, and other small game, but it isn't the answer for large predators or serious defensive situations. At roughly $300, it's an excellent survival companion and food gathering tool. Just don't mistake it for a complete survival solution. Coming in at number 6 is the Savage Model 42. This modern combination gun features a .22 long rifle barrel stacked above a 410-bore shotgun barrel. A selector on the hammer lets you choose which barrel fires. That versatility is its biggest strength. A stationary squirrel at distance calls for the rifle barrel. A rabbit darting through brush is a perfect opportunity for the 410 shotgun. The concept isn't new. Combination guns have existed for generations, and the Savage Model 24 became a favorite farm and truck gun across rural America. The Model 42 updates that idea with modern materials and construction. Mechanically, it's incredibly simple. The break action design contains very few moving parts, requires minimal maintenance, and functions reliably in poor conditions. The polymer stock handles rain, mud, and snow without complaint. Its biggest limitation is speed. You get 1 shot from each barrel before reloading. Follow-up shots are slow compared to repeating firearms. And like the AR-7, it remains primarily a small game tool. With prices generally between $450 and $550, it fills a useful niche, but it's still a specialized survival firearm rather than a complete answer. At number 5 sits one of the most iconic rifles in American history, the Winchester Model 94. Designed by John Moses Browning and introduced in 1894, this lever-action rifle became synonymous with the .30-30 Winchester cartridge. For generations, it has harvested deer across North America with remarkable consistency. Part of its appeal comes from how naturally it handles. It carries easily, shoulders quickly, and points instinctively. Few rifles feel as comfortable in the field. The side loading gate offers a practical advantage often overlooked today. Instead of removing a magazine and reloading from empty, shooters can continuously top off the rifle as opportunities arise. In regions where semi-automatic rifles face restrictions, the Model 94 also enjoys widespread legal acceptance. There are limitations. Tubular magazines generally require flat-nosed or round-nosed bullets, limiting long-range ballistic performance. Loading from completely empty is slower than magazine-fed designs, and mounting optics on some older models can be challenging. Prices vary significantly, ranging from around $800 for modern examples to well over $1,400 for desirable versions. For hunters and survivalists operating in wooded environments, it's still one of the most practical lever actions ever built. Number 4 belongs to the Ruger Gunsite Scout. Inspired by Colonel Jeff Cooper's Scout rifle concept, this rifle was designed to be compact, versatile, and effective across a wide range of situations. Built on Ruger's proven M77 action, it uses controlled round feed with a Mauser-style claw extractor. As soon as the cartridge leaves the magazine, the extractor takes control of it, enhancing reliability under difficult conditions. Chambered in .308 Winchester, the rifle offers enough power for virtually any North American game animal while maintaining excellent ammunition availability. The rifle comes equipped with a threaded barrel, detachable magazine, sturdy iron sights, and a forward-mounted optic rail that supports long-eye relief scopes. Even if an optic fails, the iron sights remain fully usable. The downside is recoil. .308 Winchester produces significantly more recoil than intermediate cartridges, especially in a lightweight rifle. Bolt action operation also limits follow-up shot speed compared to semi-automatics. With prices typically ranging from $1,100 to $1,300, the Gunsite Scout is an investment, but it's one capable of handling nearly any realistic survival scenario. Taking the number 3 spot is the Ruger 10/22. I genuinely believe this rifle remains one of the most underrated survival firearms ever produced. Introduced in 1964, it has spent decades proving itself as one of the most reliable and practical rimfire rifles on the market. The reason it ranks so highly comes down to efficiency. In a prolonged survival situation, calories become critical. Small game often provides the most realistic and sustainable food source available. A 500-round brick of .22 long rifle ammunition weighs only a few pounds and occupies very little space. Carrying 1,000 or even 2,000 rounds is realistic. Try doing that with .308 Winchester or 12-gauge shells. The 10/22's rotary magazine sits flush with the stock and has established a reputation for exceptional reliability. Recoil is virtually non-existent, and subsonic ammunition keeps noise levels relatively low. The aftermarket support is unmatched. Stocks, triggers, barrels, optics mounts, and countless upgrades are readily available. Its weakness is obvious. .22 long rifle isn't a serious answer for large predators or major defensive threats. Rimfire ammunition is also slightly less reliable than centerfire ammunition. Still, with rifles often selling between $250 and $350, the 10/22 remains one of the best values in the firearms world. At number 2, we're combining two legendary pump-action shotguns, the Mossberg 500 and the Remington 870. Both have earned their place through decades of service in hunting camps, law enforcement vehicles, military environments, and households across America. What makes them so valuable in a survival context is ammunition versatility. Load birdshot and they're excellent for small game and birds. Switch to buckshot and you have a formidable close-range defensive tool. Load slugs and you're capable of taking large game while delivering tremendous stopping power. Few firearms can transition between such drastically different roles simply by changing ammunition. Both designs are proven, reliable, and capable of functioning in harsh environments. Mud, snow, rain, and dust rarely stop a well-maintained pump shotgun. The drawbacks are weight, recoil, and ammunition bulk. 12-gauge shells are large and heavy. Recoil with buckshot and slugs can be substantial. Effective range is also shorter than centerfire rifles. Still, with prices often ranging from $300 to $500, few survival firearms offer more versatility. And here it is. The #1 survival firearm is the AR-15. I know some people wanted a lever action, a classic bolt gun, or something with more historical charm. Those firearms absolutely have their strengths. But when I evaluate survival through the lens of practicality, logistics, adaptability, and performance, the AR-15 stands alone. The biggest advantage isn't the rifle itself, it's the ecosystem surrounding it. 5.56 NATO ammunition is among the most common rifle cartridges in America. AR magazines are everywhere. Spare parts are everywhere. Knowledge, accessories, and support are everywhere. In a world where supply chains become uncertain, commonality becomes an enormous advantage. The platform's modularity is equally important. By simply swapping upper receivers or conversion systems, the same lower receiver can support 5.56 NATO, 22 long rifle, 300 blackout, and numerous other chamberings. Recoil is light, controls are intuitive, magazine capacity is substantial. Even entry-level rifles generally provide excellent accuracy and reliability. Yes, direct impingement rifles require more maintenance than a pump shotgun or bolt action. Regular lubrication and cleaning matter. But the combination of defensive capability, hunting utility, modularity, and parts availability is unmatched. When survival becomes a numbers game, logistics often determine outcomes. And no firearm on this list benefits from stronger logistics than the AR-15. These 7 firearms each bring something valuable to the table. Some excel at gathering food, others specialize in defense. A few offer remarkable versatility across multiple roles. But the biggest lesson is this: the firearm itself is only part of the equation. Training matters, fitness matters, decision-making matters. The best survival gun in the world can't compensate for poor preparation. These are tools, excellent tools, but they're still only tools. So what's your #1 pick? Did this ranking make sense? Or would you move something higher on the list? Drop your choice in the comments and let us know what firearm you trust most when everything else goes sideways. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more firearm reviews, preparedness content, and gear breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.